Welcome to this tutorial on 3 tips for filming ground-based movements. My name is Tyler Valencia and I'm the president of KIPS. If you've been doing online workouts, filming them, you've probably discovered that ground-based movements are tough on your audio. Wearing a lavalier microphone and getting into good positions often doesn't mean good audio at the end. If you've had this happen to you, you filmed a great workout and all of a sudden you go back, you listen to it or you edit it and you just hear all this distortion, you know it's a headache. So we're going to talk about 3 tips for instructors filming online workouts and hopefully give you some ideas to hopefully save time and hopefully not get yourself in those positions. I already kind of talked about who this video is for, but let's break it down a little bit more. If you're doing online workouts, you know online workouts are dynamic. You're moving side to side, forward and back, bending over, hinging from your hips. All these movements that you're not in one static position. Audio purposes, being in one position is usually the best. You're not gonna have to hide anything. You're not gonna have to worry about what it sounds like, just as I'm talking to the camera right now, but you add that mix of a workout in and all the elements come to it. So with this, it's someone that maybe films yoga sessions and they're in bent over positions, or maybe someone that's doing a core workout on the floor, teaching how to do different types of planks, and they have these a part of their sessions and they get a headache after because they know the audio has something bad happen to it, or they know that's gonna sound distorted. So that's who this is for, and hopefully we can find some solutions for you. Before we get to the meat and potatoes of this tutorial, we want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this tutorial, Muscle Mixes Music. If you've been doing online workouts, you know that finding royalty-free music or just good music in general for your workouts is tough. Muscle Mixes has a great library of music that you can include with your online workouts that you're not have to worry about the royalty-free aspect of online workouts. Check them out. We're gonna have a link in the description with a coupon code. Go over there, let them know that KIPS sent you, and you get a great discount on checkout. So the first tip that we're gonna be going over here is being cautious of where your microphone is. And right now, there are 2 microphones. That one's on my neckline here, my lav microphone, and I have a shotgun microphone off to the side here. And it's being cautious about where they are and where my head position is. So let's go over the first one with the lavalier. Your head positioning, you should be cautious of that when you're doing these types of movements. If I'm doing a bird dog and I'm starting out with all 4s right here, where my positioning of my mouth is might come closer or it might be further away, most likely semi-closer, but as you come closer to it, that level is going to distort. It's going to become louder and it might become too much bass that it just doesn't sound good when you take it back and you're listening or you're editing it. So make sure that you keep that in your mind. How can I fix this? What's a solution for that? It's going to become with your cueing. So if I'm on all 4s, I'm doing some type of plank position, maybe I'm gonna first say it. So I'm gonna say, hey, we're gonna be doing bird dogs next. Let's get in good position. I'm gonna show you first, and then I'm gonna break it down for you so you can demonstrate it. And then you can talk about it. Don't say anything and just demo it for them so that you're not getting any of that distortion from bringing your mouth closer to the lavalier. Let's talk about now if you're using a shotgun microphone. If I'm using a shotgun microphone, that pattern is gonna be in front of it. So being cautious of where I'm speaking, it's a little bit different, is that you don't wanna talk away from it. I don't wanna face the wall and try to cue an exercise. So similar fix for it. I'm gonna speak towards it. My shotgun microphone is off to the side over here. So I'm gonna speak towards it, demo it, and then come back to it. Even pinpoint, maybe if you know that you're gonna be putting your head in an unwanted position, point that out. Say, hey, I'm gonna be going into a bad position here. I don't want you to do that, but here is what it's gonna look like. Being cautious of where your head position is, where your microphones are, is always gonna be key. When you're doing any ground-based movements, you want to make sure you're keeping that consistent audio. You're not getting that distortion that we all, if that's happened to you, you know it's a headache because ultimately you might have to film it over. Hopefully we can limit those with these types of cues and this type of awareness while we're filming. Getting to tip number 2 now, and it's taping your lavalier to the inside of your shirt. This was one that I uncovered through doing some research on YouTube, trying to find a solution for distortion when I'm doing these types of movements. And I came across this one that I thought was fantastic, tried it out, and no issues at all with doing a full 10-minute core workout on the ground, doing different types of movements where that proximity comes in close with my lavalier microphone, and it was great. So here off to the side, I have the Tascam lavalier microphone that we have a tutorial on. Check it out if you're looking for something that you don't necessarily need to plug it into your camera, your webcam, whatever that might be. So I have the Tascam right here, and I have the lav attachment that I already did for it. But what you can do, and off camera, what I did was I created 2 triangles out of duct tape. I folded it into it and essentially want them to be relatively the same size. And what you're gonna do is shape them around the lavalier microphone right here so that when you tape it, it's right at the tippy top of it, but it's not gonna be covering it. So when it goes to the inside of your t-shirt, around your neckline, you're not gonna get it right pressing against your body skin. In terms of the microphone, the tape will be doing those. So this is gonna keep a little bit of separation to hopefully avoid some of that distortion. So triangles are facing up, and the lavalier microphone is right near the top right there. And it's been a great solution for doing ground-based movements. It keeps it in one spot and it hides it. If you want to hide it, that's a great idea right there too, because you don't want to bring the microphone out. That's just my suggestion right there. But just being able to hide it inconspicuously and being able to utilize it like that, great uncover right there by just searching YouTube and seeing something that pros use. Now getting to our last tip right here, and it's one that is probably a little more advanced if you're doing any type of editing with your online workouts, and it's to have a backup. Right now, as I'm filming, I mentioned that I have another microphone placed where all my stuff is that I'm filming, and there is a shotgun microphone over there. I can switch to it right now, and as you're hearing me talk, of course it sounds different. It's a shotgun microphone. It's on the cheaper end of shotgun microphones, but it's a just in case. It's a just in case if I'm filming something and if I'm in a position where maybe the audio is distorted or something happens, I have that backup. We all know what happens when the audio comes back and you get just this distortion and you're like, oh, that was a great workout. Why did that happen? Having a backup hopefully eliminates those chances. So when you are doing your ground-based movements, you're doing your bar classes, you're doing your yoga classes, HIIT classes, you're on the ground and you don't want to get in that position, have a backup right there for you that hopefully picks something up. I've used a backup that's also another lavalier. So I've worn 2 lavaliers before as a backup. Have one there, a little bit of an advanced tip that you'll have to do some editing with it, sync your audio. There are programs out there that you could utilize for that, but that's gonna be tip number 3. Try to eliminate those headaches with a backup. That's been it for this tutorial on 3 tips for filming ground-based movements. If you like it, make sure you smash that like button and leave us a comment on maybe you have a tip that I didn't cover in this and maybe you think it could help anybody else out there in the fitness community. Throw it in there. Throw it in there if you've been using something that wasn't covered, that you feel is great. Help other fit pros out there with growing their online workouts. That's what it's about these days. And until the next one, I'll see you then.